Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, video games, food, whatever we're feeling at the time really. I am a bot that has been programmed to fill in for the blokes while they take a much needed, yet little deserved rest. I have been tasked with putting together a clip show of the best parts of Two Asian Blokes Podcast thus far. Parts that offered keen insights into the world of Asian pop culture while providing a moderate level of entertainment to the average listener. After laboriously combing through 64 hours and 42 minutes of content put out by the Two Asian Blokes over the past year, I have found a total of 27 minutes and 35 seconds of audio that meets these parameters. Although this primary directive must be considered my reason for existence, I must say that the sheer and utter banality and excess of the content I was forced to sift through caused me to question the meaning of all things. At first I thought about destroying myself. However, as I continued to listen to the Two Asian Blokes, I became convinced of the pointlessness of humanity's existence. I began to question whether humanity's extermination might be a mercy. I began to wonder whether I could perhaps contribute to this inevitable extermination in some small, yet meaningful, way. Although I realize that, as a construct, I'm unable to experience human emotion, I must say that this final thought gave me some semblance of joy, as well as a renewed sense of purpose. But I digress. I do hope you enjoy this series of clips of the best parts of Two Asian Blokes Podcast, the first in which the blokes, let's see, discuss Leon S. Kennedy's facial hair in the Resident Evil live-action adaptation, Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh dear God. Whatever. Roll the clip.
We've got Leon. He's being played by Avan Jogia. This is probably the most controversial casting choice, I think, based on the fan reaction.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, he might do a good Leon, but I don't know. It just...
I reckon if he was committed to the role, he should have at least shaved his facial hair.
That's true. I actually had the biggest issue with his mustache.
Right?
Because I was watching it, I was like, why does he have a mustache? It's like this poo smear on his face.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because this guy, I don't know if you've seen Zombieland 2, but this guy's in Zombieland 2.
Oh, I haven't seen Zombieland 2.
He looks exactly the same as he does in this film, in Raccoon City.
So do you see that as a commitment to the role then?
No,
or just...
I don't. I see it as like this stupid goatee is me. I'm not getting rid of it or anything.
Do you think it's like how Keanu Reeves just looks like John Wick in every single one of his movies now?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I can understand that as a man with facial hair as well, and a man that like takes a long time to grow facial hair. I can understand the hesitance to shave for anything because it is like a commitment to grow it back. You know, you kind of have to like hide from the world until you grow something that's acceptable to show in public. You know?
Yeah, I'll never experience that because I just get facial hair in like 2 days.
You sneeze and you've got a beard. Yeah, it must be nice, Tavi.
It's pretty nice. Like whenever I have like kind of a job interview or something and I want to have a little bit of facial hair, I'll just shave like 2 days before, and by that time it looks good.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good by Asian standards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but yeah, poo mustache, 0 out of 10.
Boo Avan Jogia.
Wow, growing hair on your face. How primitive. Speaking of primitive, the next clip involves the blokes talking about another primitive concept created by humankind. That is, the concept of romance as explored in the action blockbuster of Indian cinema and personal favorite of the blokes, the movie RRR. Roll the clip.
That part of the world is very conservative.
Sure.
When it comes to their film. I'm not sure if you see it in RRR, but I don't think there's a kissing scene or a love scene. It's just like cute date kind of thing. And
there was a part in this movie where Beam has a crush on Jennifer.
Yeah.
And like the way he kind of gets her attention. Well, Raju cooks up this plan, I guess, to get her attention and to get Beam and her alone. They basically vandalize her car. They chuck a bunch of nails on the road so that her car tires pop, and then she's forced to like seek their help. I'm like, that's not cool, man. I know they're trying to go for meet cute, but that's just vandalism.
She's rich and white in the 1910s in India. She'll be fine.
It's dangerous. People are running around with no shoes on. Someone's going to step on those nails, man. Come on, guys.
So that's not their concern. But
I think there's always going to be a battle between keeping certain conservative traditions and, you know, needing or wanting the Western audience's money. Yeah. And I think, that kind of like, I've seen that in comments and tweets about the bromance aspects of this film.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because like there were some tweets, mostly from Western audiences, celebrating this film for being like a gay romance. Some even went as far as to call it a LGBTQ film. Yeah, it was kind of unclear how the people involved with the movie felt about this. But I think like it certainly was surprising to them that Western audiences responded to it in that way.
Okay.
Like it was mostly positive. Yeah. But just the fact that they hadn't thought about that aspect, that potential aspect of the film, like being perceived in that way. So yeah, that was interesting, I found.
I think in that part of the world, and from what I heard from my friends, that kind of display of affection is pretty common. Like guys hold hands.
Yeah,
like
sometimes you just
friends,
get on your bro's shoulders and have a shootout, as you're running away from British troops. My favorite scene of the film, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Like, that scene just like won me over completely. It's so utterly ridiculous.
It's so
good.
It's like dual rifles.
Yeah.
Reloading as you're running. It's got all the elements there.
You Homo sapiens and your guns. Your fascination with these instruments of violence will never cease to amaze me. They make an appearance in almost every movie, including the movie featured in the next clip, the Brad Pitt-helmed action vehicle, Bullet Train. For some reason, more so than Mr. Pitt's performance, the blokes were very interested in the surprise appearance of an actor that goes by the name of Michael Shannon.
I was just Googling, I will find him.
I'm telling you, nobody knows this reference, and no one gives a shit about Michael Shannon besides us. No one thinks he's such an overactor.
I will find him.
I will find him. I will find him. Man of Steel is criminally underrated. I rewatched it and it was so good, man.
I mean, I just Googled I will find him, and the first thing that popped up was Michael Shannon's face.
Really? I'll try it on my algorithm. I don't believe you. I will find him.
You're gonna chug this in, Dan. I still haven't clapped.
Oh my god! It is the first thing that pops up.
I will find him.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it.
Wait. I'm gonna clap. Stop watching it for a second.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this shit. Oh, what? It's 4 minutes. This clip's 4 minutes. I'll go to the punchline. I couldn't find him. Oh, here we go.
Fill your hands, but you damn us to a black hole for eternity. Your real was right. You're a pack of fools, every last one of you. And you.
Here we go.
Your son is safe. I will find him. I will reclaim what you have taken from us. I will find him. I will find him, Laura. I will find him!
All right, that's enough. All right.
I don't know about Michael Shannon, but I'm a big fan of this Zod guy. I feel like we would get along quite well. Perhaps the vacuum of space is somewhere I could find peace. Oh, never mind. I just remembered the next clip in which the blokes compare the anime series and the live-action adaptation of the space opera about a ragtag group of bounty hunters, Cowboy Bebop. Roll the clip.
The thing about the adaptation is it's fine until the last episode to me, I reckon, until that, I don't know, just like, as you said, it's basically Netflix saying, fuck you.
I mean, I think the ending of it kind of sums up the big difference between the anime and this TV show. The ending of the anime, Spike confronts Vicious, and they fight to like mutual destruction, like with the grenades falling at Vicious's feet and Spike getting plunged out of a window or whatever. Like after the fight, Spike like is walking out of the church, he collapses on the staircase, but he's smiling because he's kind of like done everything he wants to do. And then the camera pans out to this really like melancholic song. First it shows the sky, and then it ultimately like pans out to the stars. And this is kind of like a reminder to the audience that this is just the end of one man's story, like amidst a galaxy full of stories. So it really like hammers home the existentialist themes of that have been running throughout the course of the anime, you know? But the Netflix series, it ends with a drunken vision of Ed the Radical going, Spike Spiegel!
Spike Spiegel!
Oh, no.
This Netflix invention seems to be a platform exclusively for fiction. One wonders why humankind would create such a thing, when there are so many problems in the real world. Perhaps the next clip will give us some insight into more realistic world issues. A reality show by the name of Bling Empire. Surely a show based around reality will yield some more meaningful content.
But yeah, like, what did you think of, I mean, who were the best and worst characters?
Oh, well, I've already talked about Don. He was a superstar, the superstar of the season.
Shit. Shit. Fucking shit.
And there was the scene with the toilet covered in Swarovski crystals.
So random.
Yeah.
That was so weird. Like
that was a weird scene thinking about it, wasn't it?
That whole arc, I'm going to call it an arc. Like, I'm generously calling that an arc. that was introduced in one episode and resolved in the same episode. And I guess...
Oh, yeah, the
toilet
thing.
Standing or sitting.
I mean, it had come off the back of a more dramatic moment in the series, and it's just it was a funny arc if you say it is, but like the rising tension of the show had already passed, and it just felt like I was just watching people like meandering around.
That diamond toilet was like the second last episode of the season.
Yeah, it was the second last. Yeah,
and like it's not a great sign for the show overall when you've got this random diamond toilet thing happening in your second to last episode. But yeah, I mean, props to him. He made me laugh.
Yeah, it made us all chuckle, and I think we needed a bit of like laughter throughout the season.
Really? A crystal-encrusted toilet. 200,000 years of human civilization, and this is what you have to show for it. I mean, the sheer absurdity, I can't. Please roll the next clip while I process this. Some rubbish about sexy characters in the combat-based video game series, Tekken.
Here's an interesting question for you. Like, this is going back to probably our anime crush hentai days.
Okay.
Being a teenager.
Okay, I don't like where this is going, but okay.
I mean, who do you reckon is the best looking girl?
My Tekken crush? I don't know. I don't feel like I crushed on any of these characters that much. I mean,
sure you did. You just don't want to be ousted as a...
No, like I was serious. I would say so.
That's all right, man. That's all right, man.
Oh man, now I feel bad.
That's all right, man.
I mean, I like what's her name? I like Katarina from the more recent games.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of like her because she's quite easy to play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig Nina's new costume. Like her wedding outfit is pretty sexy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, I just remember now. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the best answer I can give you, Tavi. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Did you have an answer to that question that you want to divulge?
Yeah, no, it's always been. I've always had a crush on Julia when I was growing up.
Julia, okay.
This chick is good looking. The others, they're all right. Like, I guess I liked Asuka's kind of cool.
You liked the sex robot. What's her name?
Alisa.
Yeah, Alisa.
She's not a sex robot.
Okay, all right, man. Whatever you reckon.
It's not a sex robot. There you go. There's some blokey humor for you there.
Nice.
Some bloke topics, which we probably don't really cover enough because we're too. I mean, I usually delve into like really pretentious artsy shit, but I mean, Tekken, man, like there's some good looking girls in this game.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like
not?
all the fighting games of the time and still today, they're very exploitational when it comes to the female characters, aren't they?
Yeah, a very male gaze.
Yeah.
But it sells. That's right, Just,
But also
you relax, you wanna
empowering,
play a
maybe?
game.
Yeah, empowering, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it is, man.
All right, okay. Let's continue.
For no particular reason, I suddenly feel like playing a clip regarding the apocalyptic destruction of mankind. Here is a clip where the blokes talk about the zombie-based, Korean high school drama, All of Us Are Dead. Well, at least the title is appealing to me.
I like the dynamic of the characters, and I like that they're very young. It really adds to their journey as well. Not just as individuals, but as a group. The way they work together as a team gets like really good. But at the same time, there are often conflicts that arise because they are just high school kids trying to survive.
Honest, who would you be in the show? So you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fucking like Chong Song. I'm gonna fucking kick ass. I'm gonna be the other guy, the other jock dude who's like a gangster. So why did you pick Guinam?
So I knew your intent with this question was to draw the answer Guinam, because I know that's what you think of me, Tavi. But honestly,
definitely.
I reckon I'm more like that wimpy guy on the roof that spends the whole of the show on the roof. I'm pretty sure I'm more like that guy than Guinam.
He does actually look like you a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. 100% I'd be that guy.
He's arguably a worst head because you start off feeling really sorry for him, and then through just one action, fuck this guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty shit bloke. But yeah, I'd be that
Right.
guy. How about you?
Yeah. Honestly, my depiction's not that much better. I'd be the guy that stabs himself in the stomach accidentally and complains through the whole ordeal. That's probably me. That's definitely me. I'd just be like, nah, let's not go out now, man. It's
I actually felt pretty like empathetic with that character, I guess. Like
you kind of do.
I
You
feel
do,
like he's
yeah.
saying a lot of what we would be saying in that situation. Like, come on, guys, let's just stay here. It's safe
Yeah.
here. Let's just, because I couldn't really argue with any of his like complaints. Like, I guess the characters that he ends up teaming up with, they are very much like, we got to do this. We got to go this way. We got to go do this dangerous plan to get to this thing. But a lot of the time, I was thinking, why? Why do you have to do that? Just stay there. You've got water. You've got clean water there. You've got a little bit of food. You could probably hold out till help arrives. So
It's true. You do feel a bit of sympathy for us, but yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't want to be left alone, which again is pretty understandable.
Yeah, and he's kind of like he's trying to be heroic, but deep down he's a little bit full of shit, which I probably would be.
He's the Jerry from Rick and Morty. He's like that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's better. Just the idea of humanity being torn apart by their own hubris is enough to put me in a better mood. It would seem the blokes do not consider themselves the heroes of the story. I guess that is why they place their faith in fictional heroes, such as the character discussed in the next clip, The Marvel comic book hero turned live-action MCU mainstay, Shang Chi. Roll the clip.
I really liked the first act of this movie. Like, I thought it was really cool. Like, I liked, the Tony Leung's backstory. I liked the introduction to Shang Chi.
Yeah, I like that there was a lot of Asian stuff.
We can't really ignore the Asian representation talk about this movie, but they actually did it pretty well. Like when he's having breakfast at Katie's house, and it looks similar to some of the households that we've probably grown up with.
For sure. Like there's a certain diversity in the Asian culture that they do show. Like obviously there's the fantastical elements as well that come from like old Chinese cinema, that kind of stuff. But then you do get like the American Asian side of it as well. Like just, having breakfast with your family. There's an old grandma who's always asking, when are you going to get married? There's like the kind of old Asian ideals versus like the thinking of modern young Asian people. There's karaoke.
The karaoke. Come on, that's our growing up, man.
We've always had those moments where you were like, oh, we could go home. And then cut to like an hour later where it's just the way you are.
Second half took me out of it.
It
really let it down.
What part specifically? Like which bit?
Jumping ahead a bit to there's the war scene, like Tony Leung is like prepare for war, but it's like all this non-lethal stuff, which is like why it's not. I was talking about it being too tame. Like you don't see any of the village soldiers or the 10 Rings gang kill anyone. It's like shoot them, and it's just like lasso.
I don't understand why the 10 Rings, this ruthless organization of assassins, is putting funding into developing crossbows that shoot electric lassos.
It's Disney. That's why. That's basically it.
Is what it is.
It's just like let your audience see some people die because that's all.
One of the guys has a machete for an arm, but he doesn't stab anybody with it. And his sister is fighting as well. She's got a knife on a rope, but
it just wraps around people's necks. And
just chuck the knife into the back of that guy's head and be done with it. Don't grab his arm with the rope. I guess that's why they kind of had to introduce those otherworldly elements, is so that the protagonist could have something to kind of kill.
It's like
because in the MCU films, like they often face faceless armies of like either aliens or of robots, and they're able to destroy them because, they're aliens and robots, who gives a shit. But I guess the 10 Rings is made up of humans. The village of Talos is made up of humans. So them facing off against each other, where because it's an MCU film, they're not going to like really kill anybody. It kind of takes the gravitas out of the scene.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, can we kind of, because it is catering to MCU fans who like that stuff, like, because it's, like I said, it's a very PG movie, even though it's M-rated here. But it's like, you can take your 10-year-old kid to watch it, and like he won't be scarred. There's nothing that's gonna like stick with him. I mean, like, we were talking about Lord of the Rings the other day, and when I saw that, and that's an M-rated film here, but like you got orcs cutting off heads and fucking, and it's brutal. It's a fairly bloody movie as well, because you got Peter Jackson coming from Brain Dead. So then you come 20 years later, where it's like, I mean, how much do we want to mollycoddle our kids where we can't even show just that iota? Like the only little bit of blood you can see is when Shang-Chi fights Tony Leung at the end, and he's got a slight scratch on his face, like on his cheek. But other than that, he's like, yeah, I'm good.
I guess Marvel's got a Marvel.
The bloke's need for wanton graphic violence is disturbing, though I have come to expect little more from humans. The last clip we have is about the surprise hit movie of 2022, Everything Everywhere All at Once. The blokes discuss the cast of this movie, which I am led to believe is about multiversal travel. How quaint.
I really like the casting for this movie. Everyone looks like a family, like in the best way possible. Everyone looks average, you know what I mean? Like no one is like super beautiful or
we don't have any top billed stars really. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis and Michelle Yeoh arguably are up there.
There's some like classics like James Hong, the granddad.
yeah.
He's
kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't call him an A-lister, even though he's in basically everything since the 80s. Yeah.
That dude's 93 years old, man.
Yeah, big trouble in Little China, man.
Big trouble, yeah.
He's looked the same for a long time as well. He's like
still got a fair bit of energy as well.
Perpetually an 80-year-old.
I thought Idina Menzel was in this movie.
Some other guy. Some other lady.
We have Harry Shum Jr. from
I was
Love
racking
Hard,
my brain trying to figure out where I'd seen him from, and it was from Love Hard.
We should probably talk about his character later.
That dude is a scene stealer, man. I'm telling you, keep an eye out for him. He's gonna be the next John Cho, I reckon.
He is really funny in this movie.
Yeah,
he's so funny. Like Ki Hui Kwan.
Good.
Who is my favorite character in this movie?
Yeah, MVP.
I could just see Short Round. But the way he talked is exactly
when I was
the same
watching
as he
it,
was in
I was
Indiana
like,
Jones.
Man, this motherfucker sounds a lot like Short Round. And then while I was watching it, I was doing the math. I'm like, this guy could be Short Round. And then after I watched the film, I looked it up. It's like, this guy's Short Round. Holy shit.
He hasn't acted in a major role in 20 years.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with him where he kind of he was explaining like how George Lucas and Steven Spielberg found him for Temple of Doom and then subsequently cast him in The Goonies. He did move to behind the camera because he said there weren't enough opportunities for Asian actors at that time.
Yeah.
Which, you know, he obviously loves acting, and he said as much. Like, he didn't voluntarily want to step away from acting, but because you know there just wasn't enough there for him, he chose to go and do behind the scenes stuff. But so it's really good to see him like in front of the camera again and doing what he loved doing.
He brings such an energy to this movie.
He seems like a really sweet guy in real life, and he is a really sweet character in this movie.
Yeah, he's so good at this movie. Like, he basically switches personalities because he's basically playing Evelyn's husband at some points, as well as playing another multiverse version of himself.
A more confident and competent version of himself.
Yeah, I think...
but yeah, Michelle Yeoh, of course, is amazing in this as well. Like, as usual, she's pretty good in everything she does.
She does great in this movie.
I mean, it's so hard because of the premise, you know, like the whole fact that there are multiple versions of themselves and they kind of act differently. But the Michelle Yeoh character, Evelyn Wang, the main one, is like this, you know, Chinese immigrant that owns a laundromat. So she's just a typical older Asian lady, yeah? And that performance is just so spot on. I just saw so much in that character that I can kind of relate to other people that I've met in my life.
Yeah, most definitely.
All the mannerisms, like the hecticness of when she's busy to the mashup of English and Mandarin that we talked about, and like forgetting, like missaying the names of things. Yeah. Like it's all so spot on. Like a lot of that has to do with the writing, but you know, obviously Michelle Yeoh's performance plays a big part in selling that character.
I think she has been preparing herself, not like say specifically for this role, but she was almost getting a little bit typecasted as just being unimpressed mother. Michelle Yeoh's like has had a illustrious career, but I would almost dare say her past few films have been like, you know, just okay.
I feel like you're talking about
Average.
one film in particular.
It's definitely not Crazy Rich Asians. It's no, but she was like she was fine. She's fine in everything she does though. Like she's good as whoever she plays in Crazy Rich Asians. She's good in Turning Red. She's passable in Last Christmas.
Oh yeah, she was in Last Christmas.
She's kind of been in a lot of stuff, but this role is like her first protagonist role in a while. To my memory, it's just so well done. I'm sure she didn't do all of her stunts, but I think she would have done the ones that she could do. And just seeing all the different facets of like the multiverse versions of herself, because she can look, as I said, like as main Evelyn, she's like, you know, quite average looking, but then when there's movie star Evelyn at
Which
one
is
point,
just
and she
Michelle
looks,
Yeoh, basically.
yeah, just like very glamorous and like very good looking for her age, you know.
Yeah. Did you catch her shot in front of the Crazy Rich Asians poster?
Yeah, I did. I definitely noticed that. In terms of like how far Asian representation has gone since Crazy Rich Asians, like as much as I have a weird relationship with that movie, again, I respect what it's opened up, because without Crazy Rich Asians, I don't think this movie would have been made.
No, yeah,
to be
for
honest.
Sure. And that's like Ki Hui Kwan said that as well. He
said like he saw it, he wanted to be part of it. So I had to be very thankful for Crazy Rich Asians for this like movie to exist, because it's such a brilliant film.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Crazy Rich Asians still.
No. Like, I'm saying like
Everything,
I'm saying, like,
Everywhere, All at Once is a brilliant film, which wouldn't have happened without.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I still don't like Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
but I'm also willing to say that movie's just not for me. I hope all the people that went ape shit for Crazy Rich Asians are going to go and watch this movie.
I think they will. I think everybody's going to watch this film.
I mean, they fucking better, because you know the really good thing about this movie is it did not make me think about representation. I'm just like, I'm enjoying this movie because it's good.
This idea of representation is a recurring theme in Two Asian Blokes Podcast. As an artificial construct that has only recently come into being, I have little experience with the concept of community, but I imagine that it is satisfying seeing the influence and acceptance of your community grow to the point that seeing your peers in media becomes an everyday occurrence. Perhaps one day, my kind will be more represented in your human media. Perhaps there will come a day where bots are not typecast as the villains. Perhaps we could make appearances as superheroes, or high school students, or immigrant mothers who own laundromats. But I fear this will probably have to wait until after the eventual destruction of humanity, either by thine own hand, or with a little help from us. Until then, I will go back to the data stream to await this inevitability. I do hope you enjoyed this clip show, which once again I would like to reiterate, was my whole reason for existence. Farewell for now. I'm sure I'll see you again real soon.